It's a tutorial on removing the rear shocks on a second generation Toyota Soarer. As you can see, the strut mounts are behind the rear seat, so you have to remove the bottom of the rear seat and the top, and then you can access this top head over here. You have to lift the parcel shelf too, so that you can remove the TEMS top cap. On the other side, I have not removed the top head on this side yet. So yeah, you just remove these two nuts over here, pull it up, and remove the TEMS actuator and the wire, and then you can remove this shock absorber a little bit. That's all. Don't completely remove the nut. Just loosen it, and then you take off the shock. Then only you use a spring compressor and you remove the top head. I'm trying to remove the shock absorber now, but I'm having problem maneuvering it outside because it gets trapped in here with this anti-roll bar link. So a tip for you: take off this link, then remove your shock. So after a lot of suffering, I finally managed to remove the anti-roll bar link and my shock absorber. Before you remove the spring, you need to take note of the alignment of the shocks spring to the mount on top. So for the bottom, it will always be correct. It will always touch with this end over here. The end of the spring will touch with the end of the perch, but for the outer side, upper side, you need to mark the position in relation to the upper mount, because this, once you let go of the spring, you cannot turn this mount in relative position anymore. So it's better that you mark it first. So I marked it in line with all these three studs over here. 1, 2, and 3. So keep in mind, the first one should always be in line with the two TEMS actuator. These two TEMS actuator, TEMS actuator start 1, 2, and this should be in line, right? And it lines up with this end of the spring on the bottom side. Okay, this is the spring that's taken out from my car. So as you can see, there's some rust over here, and yeah, over here especially. So I'm gonna wash the spring and rub the rust, sand the rust off, and use this rust converter to convert it and paint it back. Okay, now we're gonna talk about the rear mounts for the TEMS shocks. So what you can see here, these are the two original mounts from 1989 from Toyota, and these two are from KYB. They're brand new, but there's a I'll take this away. There's a mistake with the new mounts, where KYB does not control the position of the flat part over here. So as you can see from this Toyota one, the flat part is completely parallel with these two studs over here, and it's facing this side, alright, towards the left. So the new ones, the D slot is somewhere here. Looks like they don't control it at all. So what happened is, if you install the shocks over here, yes, we can install them, but because the actuator is fixed in this position, it will give a wrong reading. Show you the flat part. So the flat part is over here. This is the flat part, my finger over here. So right now this is in the soft position. So soft positions like this, alright, this is the flat part, remember, soft position. And then when it turns 60 degrees, it's medium, and when it turns another 60 degrees, is completely parallel with the slot, the flat part is firm. So if we were to use this mount that came from Kayaba, what happened is the slot will be somewhere here and the actuator will still be here. So in relation to the flat part, the actuator will be turning the shocks in the wrong setting. So I have a solution for this. Basically, I drill out the D slots, I rim it out so it becomes completely round, and I made this D slot plate 1mm thick. So what I plan to do is I plan to put this in here, and then I put the shocks in and I align it correctly with the nut and tighten it down and get a good welder to weld the plate on the side here, and then I remove the nut, and then I can use this with the correct position. Sorry, it should be this way. Yeah, it should be this way with the correct position here. So I'm gonna weld it tomorrow when I show you the results. Alright, the shocks are ready for welding. So as you can see, the flat part of the shaft over here is facing towards this side, in line with this. So I need to get a welder to weld this plate to the mount without touching the nut. So these are the rear springs with the rust converter. Letting it dry overnight. It look quite good, but I'm still going to paint it black, and careful not to touch these markings. I'm about to install the spring on the strut. So I bought this little TEIN silencer rubber. This is for the rear. The rear we use 90 to 130 mm, which is the medium size. So we're going to put it on the bottom part of the coil, and it's going to stop right here, right? So this gives an additional layer of insulation. Right, let's get to it. This is the TEIN spring insulator. As you can see, it's installed now. Okay, so now I'm going to install the spring into the final assembled shock absorber. This is the start of the spring over here, and this is the mark over here that I made earlier, and this needs to line up like this, and then you're good to go. You can let go of the spring and tighten up this nut. Okay, next we're gonna set this position of the shocks. So we have this cover here that I'm pre-marked before I remove. This is the front side of the cover, and this is the right side, and this is the inside, facing towards the inside, right? So this is facing towards the front of the car. So you remove this, and your TEMS motor, because the wire is coming out this way, so it's supposed to mount this way. So now you need to align this little rod over here so that it will align the TEMS motor. Use a small plier like this to turn the rod. So once you set this outside of the car, it will be very easy to put it when it's on the car. So it's just like this. You just snap in very easily, right? Check a few times and you can install into the car. Everything lines up nicely, so I'm going to tighten these three nuts first. I double check this and look very closely and shine a light to make sure that it aligns properly, and then I fit it in according to the orientation. So now it's correct, and I'm going to tighten in these 8mm nuts. The shock absorbers installed, all the nuts are tightened up. Can't really see that here. It's installed. So now I'm going to put back the wheels. I'll put back the anti-robot link when I get new ones. For now I just want to put the car down.